I've been seeing little hints and tidbits about a possible sequel to Equestria Girls for a couple months, and really there was so little to go off of that I didn't think I could give any kind of reasonable opinion. Well, now we have a trailer, and right after watching it I got the urge to start writing about it. I can remember when the first little tidbits started appearing for Equestria Girls way back during Season 3, and I can remember just how many fans were really starting to question the direction MLP was taking. At least with Rainbow Rocks, we've already gotten over a lot of the hesitations we had with Equestria Girls. We already know what the animation is going to look like, we already know that the same writers and voice actors are going to be taking part. And we already know what we liked and what we didn't like from Equestria Girls, and I'd say that this sequel will probably be very much the same way. I can remember going into the first movie not having much interest in the story or the setting, but just wanting to see these enjoyable characters and their great interactions. And in that respect, the movie did not disappoint, and if each of us can go into Rainbow Rocks the same way, I can imagine that we'll get some entertaining moments just like the first film. With that in mind, however, I do have some thoughts about what we see in this first trailer. It's obvious that there's going to be a lot of focus on modern pop songs, although the trailer didn't give all that much as far as lyrics. I'm sure that the MLP staff will be giving us more than a few catchy tunes with this new movie, but I really wish they could have put more in the trailer than "shake your tail 'cause we're going to have a party tonight" over and over. That really doesn't show the amount of talent there is behind MLP. I also noticed that Vinyl Scratch is making a couple of appearances in the trailer, more than any other side character. And yeah, I'm sure she would make a good fit for a story that puts a lot of focus on making music. But I still have to wonder about how much of a role she'll actually have in the movie, or if she'll even get a single line of dialogue. I get the feeling that she may have been put in the trailer just to get us to think she'll be playing a larger role in order to add to the hype, but at this point there's no way to tell. As for the main six themselves, we see each of them going back into their hybrid forms while playing their music, so they are trying to keep at least some semblance of magic in this series. But really, at this point I don't see any reason for them to have this element except for selling more toys. I wasn't all that interested in the designs of the first film, and I'm pretty sure that's not going to change for the sequel. However, I think there might be a bit more draw for the story in this movie provided they do something interesting with it. For example, we know that at least 5 of the main 6 exist in both worlds, but what about Twilight? Are the writers just going to find a way to draw Twilight back from Equestria for another story in the human world? Or could it be that there is another Twilight that exists here and that they could be building upon a story where a new Twilight is being introduced? I think the latter possibility actually has more potential for an engaging story, because the rest of the main 6 could be expecting her to be just like the Twilight they met before. And if the writers are smart, they could show Twilight being overwhelmed by expectations that she just isn't able to live up to. And the rest of the main 6 would have to come to realize that they need to see Twilight for who and what she is, and not for what they have expected her to be. And if we get to see Spike making a comeback and being just as enjoyable as he was in the first film, I'd be all the more interested in seeing the sequel. It is still far too early for us to know anything about the story though. They could be introducing a new villain, using a character we already know to be a villain, or have no villain at all. And we still have at least 6 months before we'll see this movie come out, since it is set for a fall release. But in the meantime, I would like to hear your thoughts. Do you think we'll be seeing any intriguing new elements in this movie that we didn't see in Equestria Girls? Do you think any of the side characters will actually be given a role with some real dialogue? What sort of story would you like to see the writers attempt here? Are you looking forward to seeing Rainbow Rocks? Or does another Equestria Girls movie leave you feeling like we're not ever going to see an MLP movie set in the world of Equestria? I would like to hear your thoughts on the Rainbow Rocks trailer, and here's to hoping that the MLP staff can continue to surprise us, as they have managed to do so many times before. I am DRWolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.